Hi, welcome. We are doing notes 3-1 today, and they are on page 88 in your note guide. So get everybody to go ahead and open up and follow along. Today, I actually like this because we're getting out of the proofs in the logic section, which is not usually anybody's favorite section. This section today is going to carry on through the entire year. This is something that's like a strong foundation for geometry, and we've really got to kind of know and pay attention to what's going on. So here, this first page is really a lot of definitions. I'm going to use some highlighters and some, mostly just highlighters here and maybe some colored pencils. Okay, always put your date up at the top. I'm doing this a week before, so I'm going to say 24. Let's say the 28th. Make sure you put your period, just write your name at the top too. Okay, first, parallel lines here. Two coplanar lines on the same plane that do not intersect. These arrows here, see these thick arrows? Those arrows are used to indicate that they're parallel lines. So anytime you see those thick arrows in the middle, that means that they're parallel lines. So right here, I might write that line AB is parallel, the two long skinny L's, to line CD. Okay, now some parallel planes are planes that do not intersect. So I could say something here like here's two planes, kind of a roof and a floor. I could say plane J. Plane in front of that, sorry. Plane J, and the other plane is plane K. I'm going to highlight the word not in both spots, just so we remember that's kind of important. Okay, skew lines. Skew lines are non-coplanar. And do not intersect again. Okay, so here we have quite a few. I'm going to use a highlighter to kind of show some skew lines here. I'm going to start with green. This line SP and this line VR. Now it could be SP and UQ also would be parallel. Or not parallel, sorry, skew. The way I kind of use that is if I have a box of tissue, my two fingers here, those are parallel. Even if I put my fingers here on the edges of the box, those are going to be parallel. If I do this, one finger up and then the finger at the bottom here, those are not parallel, they're not on the same plane, those are considered skew. So skew is a little bit tricky and it might be a new one. I'm going to write those in just a minute. I'm going to do the pink lines also. So here I'm going to do in pink. TW right here. First, I'm not going to, you should write down what you think it might be skew to. And then I'm also going to use TP right here. Okay, so I already said line segment PS was skew to line segment RB. And then this is going to be line segment TW and line segment PT. TW would be skew to something like UQ or VR. So I'll do UQ in this one. Or Q. And then PT might be skewed to QR or SR back there. We'll say QR. So there are other choices you could have picked on this one, but those are definitely ones that work for skew. So skew is not parallel and not intersecting. Okay, so here I want to name all segments that are parallel to AE. So I have 3. My parallel to AE, this right here, is going to be these 3. I'm going to say BF. I'm going to say CG. I'm going to say DH. There we go. Those, oh, you can't even see that. Oh my gosh. I apologize. Okay, so those are going to be parallel to AE, and then I colored them with the orange highlighter. Okay, so next, give examples of parallel planes. So usually when you name a plane, you're going to name 3 points on the plane to name it. So I could say plane. Let's say I called it plane ABE. AB is the front plane of like a tissue box. So the plane on the back, I'm just going to put PL, would be CDG. I like to name them alphabetically, and you don't have to name them in order on a plane, so I'm going to name them in CDG. Here, another one, let's say I want to name plane ADE. Go ahead and pause and write the one over here. Plane, if I pick ADE over here, it's the side parallel to this one, which would be BCF. Name all segments that are skew to GH. So skew to GH. GH is back here. And there are going to be 4 of them. So that's a little hint if you want to pause it and put down all 4. Okay, I believe this is going to be AE, BF, AD, and BC. I'm going to go ahead and skip this next one. I don't think it's necessary that we do that. If there's any questions, again, you can put sticky notes, highlighters, ask me questions, put questions down so you can come back and ask me in class. Okay, we're going to go to the next page. The next page is actually one of my favorites. I like this page because this is one that we learn about some angles and their relationships, and they're going to become very important to us for the rest of the year. These do not go away, so we have to kind of memorize these. A transversal is a line that intersects 2 or more lines. So the transversal up here is this line T because it intersects 2 lines. So here's L and M. It intersects here. Corresponding angles are angles on the same side of the transversal in the same position. So what I kind of pay attention to is angle 1 here. Now up here, I know the relationship of these 4. I know these 2 are linear pair. I know 1 and 4 are linear pair. I know 1 and 3 are vertical angles. 2 and 4 are vertical. I know the relationship if they are all together. The top 4 and the bottom 4, they all have relationships. What I want today is to pick one angle from the top and say how it's related to the one angle on the bottom. So if I start with angle 1 and I went corresponding, corresponding is in the same position. So if 1 is in the north, what is it? It's in the northwest here. Which angle is in the northwest on the bottom? Well, the one that's in the northwest on the bottom is going to be angle 5. So let's pick angle 2. Angle 2 is in the northeast. Well, what's in the northeast down here? Angle 6. Down here, we have angle 4. It is in the southwest. So the southwest here is going to be angle 8. Here, angle 3 is in the southeast. So in the southeast here is going to be angle 7. So here we have to pick the same corresponding position. And if they're in like the northwest, southeast, wherever they are, same corresponding position from the top angles and the bottom angles. Now the rest of them I kind of like because they tell you in the name. I want alternate sides of the transversal inside. So if I want to know what all the inside angles are going to be like these 4 in here. Those are my inside angles. So if I pick an inside angle, angle 4, what angle, well, 3 is the opposite side, but 4 and 3 we already know are a linear pair. So I don't want 4 and 3. I want the alternate side of the transversal inside. So alternate interior is going to be 4 and 6. Alternate interior, I could also pick 3. Alternate inside is going to be angle 5. Okay, now alternate exterior are the ones that are on the outsides. Outside angles are going to be 1 and 2, which are a linear pair already, and 8 and 7. I don't care about the linear pairness of them. I want to know the relationship from the bottom and the top. So here, if I pick angle 1, what angle is on the alternate outside? Alternate of the transversal outside will be angle 7. And then if I pick angle 2, alternate outside is going to be angle 8. So here I have, here I have the exterior angles were in green. The interior angles were this brownish red. So if you're color coding and kind of trying to stick along with that. Now, consecutive interior. Now again, I'm on the inside, but I want consecutive. Another way to say the consecutive is to say same side. Different textbooks kind of refer to that differently. Some say same side, some say consecutive. It's really dependent on the book. So right here, if I want same side interior, angle 4, and the same side would be angle 5. Angle 3, and angle 6. So there we go. Now what I want you to do is I want you to pause. I'm going to pause. Well, no, I'll fill this one in with you. Pause, and then come back and check. See if you know the relationships of all of these. Okay, so 1 and 8 are going to be alternate exterior angles. 2 and 3. The transversal is the R. They are on the inside of the 2 lines and on the same side. I personally usually say same side, or you could say consecutive. I abbreviate all the time. Okay, 5 and 7. 5 and 7, one's inside, one's outside. This is in the southwest. 7's in the southwest. That's going to be considered my corresponding angles. Okay, 2 and 7, they're both inside, but alternate sides of the transversal, alternate interior angles. 1 and 3, northwest, northwest, corresponding angles. I have 6 and 7. They're both inside and they're on the same side. So again, I would put same side or consecutive interior angles. Okay, I'm going to pause the screen and I'm just going to fill this one out. So you should pause, see if you can fill out everything you can. Now also pay attention to angles must belong to the same transversal to be a pair of, to have an angle pair relationship. So if I had an angle from here and an angle from 1, 2, 3, 4, they do not share a transversal. That is not going to have a relationship. Here, these two share a transversal, these two share a transversal, those two, and those two. If they're across, they don't share a transversal. Also, my second tip on this particular problem, maybe you have like a, what is it? I have a lot of index cards. So if you have an index card and you're looking at this, you may want to cover up part of it. And covering it up so you're just looking at the part you're focused on might be a good hint. Pause, fill it in, and we'll do this together. Okay, so I'm going to cover up. I have 5 and 13. That's going to be corresponding. Here I have 7 and 14, alternate interior. I next